I'm here at NamesCon 2015 with Shane Cultra. Shane, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person, man. I've read your blog for years, and
we talk all the time, but we never get to look eye to eye.
we talk all the time. I work together with Flippa and as a media partner, and we're very grateful to have you. And it's just great to see you here. Tell me what brings you here, and what are some highlights of the conference so far?
Well, you just said it. There's a lot of people here I talk to almost daily. I mean, you and I talk a lot, or at least on email, and so you get to finally meet those people, and then you coordinate and meet up with people that you know, this is the only time of year you do that. So it's people you've known for years, and you finally get to do that and go out and talk business and talk about things that you really can't talk about publicly. And it's certainly nice to, you know, kind of sit behind the scenes and talk about some neat things.
You're known as Domain Shane.
Yeah.
You work with Aaron on your blog, and you're kind of a joint effort. Tell us more about that and the other things you do in the domain world.
Sure. So I started in plant names, and I kind of built on that. And I used to write another blog several years ago, and it was successful, but I did domains and I knew I loved it. So I said, well, let's write about it. I see other people doing it, and you always want to write about stuff you're passionate about. So I got into domains, and I met Aaron. Aaron had the same love. We do love running together. He's from my area, and he was writing a blog. And I said, let's take two, pardon my language, half-ass blogs and put them together and make a great blog. And so we worked together, and you know, he and I are friends. We get along well, and we talk about the aftermarket. That's mainly what we do. We talk about things, names that come up after, and thus the aftermarket. And a lot of people see there's names that they don't see that may be buried but are decent value names, and that's kind of what we do. We talk about what sold, what they sold for, what are they doing a year later, and just kind of point all those things out.
Tell us about some products, services, marketplaces, forums, things that you utilize in the domaining space, things that you enjoy using every day, basically.
Sure. I mean, all the aftermarkets every day. I'm thankful for the liquidity. I think people like to complain about the smaller things that they may not see, but I think they should be even more grateful for the things it provides, the ability for all of us to go out there and sell our entities. It also gives you an idea to see what sells. I mean, the hardest part of this is learning what's a good name and what's not a bad name, and everybody has a different opinion, but a good name is one that came across a platform like yours and sold. That's a simple answer. Is that a good name? Yeah, it sold for $10,000. How can it not be a good name? So those are the services I use. The forums are great, NamePros, you know, those talking to other people in our industry, getting opinion, trying to build a database so that we know what to spend our money on that will improve in value over time. And all that data, those are the things I use, tools, data, forums, those are so important to what we do. And without them, we're not as good at investors and we don't make as much money.
Exactly. Anything that does not yet exist that you say, oh man, I wish I could just have that tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I think we all have organizational tools. Everybody has a tool for you to make sure your names get renewed and make sure that you keep track of everything. I wish sometimes that was all easier, and they're going to tell me that it is easier, but it still takes hours and hours to keep everything organized and to make sure that things get paid and things. So, you know, I'm always looking for something to make my life easier where I can keep all my entities under check. But other than that, I think we're evolving pretty well, and I don't want things to move too fast because I want there to be barriers to entry in what we do. I want it to be hard for people to do what we do now that I'm in it. Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, I hear you're actually running back to Illinois, so.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron's going to bike back and I'm going to run back.
That's right.
I haven't run one day since I'm here. That's a big negative in Vegas. You don't tend to get up and run very often.
It's probably a first, actually. Yeah, Iron Man. So it was great to see you in person.
Nice talking to you.
Thanks, Shane.